No one wants to fight for Israel.
His hand. Oh, his hand.
Sir. Let go of your hand. Let go of the door. Let go of the door.
The senator broke his hand. A sitting U.S. senator just broke the hand of a Marine.
Sir.
Control your Senate.
Arms stuck in the door. Okay, sir.
A U.S.
So we're going to cut off all trade with Spain. We don't want anything to do with Spain. Now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases, and that's all right. We could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it. By the way, I'm not happy with the UK either. That island that you read about, the lease, okay, he made it for whatever reason. He made a lease of the island. Somebody came and took it away from him, and it's taken 3-4 days for us to work out where we can land there. It would have been much more convenient landing there as opposed to flying many extra hours. So we are very surprised. This is not Winston Churchill that we're dealing with.
News. Russia has just issued a chilling warning to Israel. Since Israel announced plans to take full control, the world has been in uproar condemning the move. Now Russia has stepped in, declaring that if Israel dares to proceed, Moscow will not stay silent and could launch severe action. Israel is now on high alert. Iran and Pakistan have also joined the warning, stating that if Israel makes any aggressive move toward, they will respond with strong measures. Meanwhile, the Western stance is shifting. Australia has announced it will officially recognize Palestine as a state, and Germany has halted all exports to Israel in protest. Yet one nation remains firmly in Israel's corner, the United States, standing by every decision it makes. The stakes couldn't be higher. If Israel enters God, Russia and Iran could unite for a large-scale military move, pushing the world dangerously close to a global conflict. So the question remains, after such overwhelming condemnation, will Israel still go ahead? And will the world finally take decisive action?
Kol Holo Yahweh Ba'ashum Yahusha Ba'ashum Rakach Wadash. The bonds of the apostles, the bonds of the elders at Great Millstone who rule well at time in this truth. Much respect to you brothers out there just preaching his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. The tabernacle of David that's being risen up right before your very eyes. The next ruling class. And Yahweh Ratazah, we of those men. To the men, women, and children that's listening and learning. Yahweh Ratazah, you of the hopeful elect. To you I say shalom. Let's get into this lesson, man. As you see from the videos in the beginning, man, hey, destruction is coming unto Babylon the Great. Esau Edom is against himself. And these are some very beautiful times, man. Right? The king of Babylon, which we know the true kings of Babylon is the ones behind the scenes, right? Got your Rothschilds and so on and so forth, right? But, you know, the man at head, man at the top, you know, the face of Babylon is DJ, right? And he's making moves out here, right? He's making moves out here. and he causing a stir. Matter of fact, the true ruler of Babylon the Great as well, all right, is B.B. Milkowski, man, all right? Because as I get, right? Babylon the Great is sending, what, tens and millions of dollars over there to our homeland, Israel, right? And they living rent-free. They living high off the hog. Well, that time of living high on the hog is coming to the end, man. Because you got the people waking up. They don't want to fight in this war. This is a bunch of bullshit, man. Right? They don't want to fight in this war. They see what's happening. Right? But it's got to happen. You know, this is the Lord's movie. The nations are being drawn to Yahweh Shaphat, right? The valley of the Lord's judgment. And that's coming, man. So let's go ahead and get some scriptures in Yahweh Ratazah. It's an edifying lesson. It's Luke 10 and verse 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. And whether this man realizes it or not, right, we can see it through the spirit. This man's kingdom is falling. It's going under. E versus E. Now, a lot of these Edomites is going to tear up Jake, right? That's prophesied as well. But a lot of them is going pew pew, all right? They going to get at each other. And this is a showing of that, right? The big noses have hoarded the majority of the blessing. Yeah, the other tribes of Edom, you know, they got a blessing, but they don't have the portion like Amalek does. They don't have that portion like Amalek, where he's just out there chilling, living high on the hog for real, right? They come over here, Babylon the Great, already established with their jewelry stores. And matter of fact, they out here scamming a whole bunch of rappers with their jewelry, you know? But anyways, this man's kingdom is falling. Verse 19, behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding, in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you. Yeah, it's awesome. It's dope. You're going to get that spiritual power. Nothing's going to be able to touch you or hurt you. But, as it reads, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. That's what you should really rejoice, because Yahweh Desire, you're going to see the fall of your enemy. And not only you're going to see the fall of your enemy, the Lord going to bestow upon you that spiritual power. Why? Because you made the Lord your refuge. You made the Lord your habitation, right? You put your 144% stock into this truth, right? So it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing to see, see things like this happen, man. Right? This man is going crazy out here, man. Isaiah 14 and verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Now, a Christian will read this and thinking that this is talking about the spiritual demon Satan. No, this is talking about Esau, Edom, the true red man, right? We just read earlier in Luke 10, in verse 18, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven, right? Get back to it. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, right? Lucifer just means light bringer. And the light in which Esau Edom brought was his wine, his polluted wine unto the other nations. And the other nations have drunk of their wine. But as you read in the scriptures, the nations drunk of the wine and they're angry. I'm like, hold on, man, this ain't real. This ain't no real wine. It's artificial wine. What was we doing sipping this up, man? This ain't the real stuff. This is counterfeit, you know? So the other nations are going to eventually, as we see, they're gearing up. Even E versus E, they're gearing up to fight against the great whore, right? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations with your wine, right? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, right? That proud and pompous spirit. As we read, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's what this man said. I'll be like the Most High, and I'll also tell the world that the Most High don't exist. You know, I give them this science bullshit, right? This pseudoscience, I should say, right? The science that they give you is pseudoscience, man. There's true science. True science proves that the Lord exists. I'll give you an example. An artist has a signature, you know? When you're done with a piece, You'll write your signature on it to signify that you made it. Well, in nature, the Lord has his signature, right? It's like a spiral, almost like a spiral 6, right? Almost like this spiral. You'll see it in galaxies and, all throughout nature. You'll see the Lord's signature. The Lord made that, right? That's just a sign that the Lord exists, all right? True science proves that, right? Just look it up, the Lord's signature, right? So anyways, yet thou shalt be brought down to the hell, to the sides of the pit. They shall not see thee, shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms? Right? Was this the man? Other nations gonna be looking around. Hey, he down here with us. Matter of fact, he lower than us. Right? Especially in the kingdom, man. They're gonna be like, hey, this man lower than us. Right? The scriptures say the last shall be first and the first shall be last. This man is gonna be taken down with a great mighty hand. Right? That made the world as a wilderness and destroy the cities thereof, that open not the houses of the prisoners. Because we're still found in this man's hands. This man is still throwing our people into prison. Right? This man don't follow the laws of the Bible. So anyways, let's get some of these photos, right? High gas prices are imminent, as the brother has said, tit for tat. Right? Iran closes vital shipping routes. Hey, that's coming, man. If I'm not mistaken, China uses a whole bunch of Iran's oil, man. Relies a lot on Iran oil. The other nations as well. Right? So you being drawn to the valley of Yehoshaphat, that great war is imminent. Is coming. Is coming, man. America will no longer be safe, warns Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, vowing, you see right there, to strike Babylon homeland, right? And they just said, Elder did a video on it. I sent it in the group chat as well from Anti News of, former FBI agent was like, hey, these sleeper cells are going to wake up. Because if you remember in the Biden administration, the walls were open, man. It's like the doors were open. All these nations was coming in, right? And we've been saying this since then. You got a whole bunch of sleeper cells, right? That's going to awake, right? It's going to awake and do damage out here, man. Got this right here. YouTube co-founder says, 2026 will be the last year humans do meaningful work. Many believe this is a warning about our future. Absolutely. This is this man's technocracy. It's what he believes. Right? That's why you see all these AI being implemented, AI data centers. It's to set up the MOTB. Right? Set up for the MOTB. Let's see. I thought this was funny. Now that I bombed Iran, you're going to forget about the EP. And it says, now you're, who also bombed children. You do understand how that's worse, right? Right? Because what this man is doing, he killing little children, man. This man don't play fair. I believe, I have to look for the video again, right? Which they haven't been prosecuted from it, man, of committing war crimes. If you're in talks, a peace or a treaty or something like that, and you still bombing the people, you committing war crimes. And had this man been prosecuted? No. B.B. Murkowski, has he been prosecuted? No. He's still committing war crimes. You see that right there, right? U.S. gives Israel more than $10 million every day. Free healthcare, free college, right? But Babylon the Great is looking like a third world country over here, man. Potholes everywhere. The people cracked out. All right. Goddamn Mayweather. As the scriptures say, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. All right. Yeah, here's the one. Ex-FBI boss warns of imminent terror attacks on American soil. Right. These sleeper cells are going to wake up. And this is, to hide the fact of the EP files. Jake, got to be the face of terrorism. But here it is. You got this man, this cannibal out here that's running rampant, that still has not been prosecuted. But Jake is going to be the face of terrorism, right? Got that right there. So anyways, let's get this right here. I just looked up pride in typed it into Google. As it reads, in the Bible, pride is defined as arrogant, self-exalting attitude that places self above power and others. We just read in Isaiah 14, I shall exalt myself above the Most High, right? Acting as the root of all sin, right? As you read in Proverbs 6, these 6 things does the Lord hate. It is viewed as dangerous, deceptive, destructive force that leads to downfall, causing power to resist the proud, while offering grace to the humble, right? So grace is going to be offered unto us. Yahweh desire we of those men, but destruction is unto Esau, Edom. And that's plain, man. Let's get this. This is Daniel 7, verse 20. And of the 10 horns, there were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell. And even of that horn that had eyes, and of the mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Who is this talking about? This is talking about Babylon the Great, America, the revised Roman Empire. New International Version. I also wanted to know about the 10 horns on his head and about the other horn that came up, which before of them fell, and the horn that looked more imposing, right? It was a great time where Babylon the Great had nukes. No other nation had those. No other nation had the firepower that Babylon the Great had, right? Then the others, and that the eyes and the mouth that spoke boastfully, right? This man is speaking boastfully, man. Proudly, arrogant, right? We're going to do whatever we want to do. New Living Translation. I also asked about the 10 horns of the 4th beast's head and the little horn that came up afterward and destroyed the 3 of the other horns. This horn had seemed greater than the others, right? Babylon the Great. And had human eyes and a mouth that was boasting arrogantly. And as we'll get, Proverbs 18 and verse 12, KJV first. Before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, and before honor is humility. Before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty. Right? So we're seeing right before our very eyes, whether this man realizes it or not, we know through the Spirit, this man is through. This man is done. And a lot of us, some of us, right, I should say, they're going to throw our name in the mud. We're going to be the face of terrorism, but that's part of getting that honor. It's going through that humility route, right? But honor is coming, man. New Living Translation. Haughtiness goes before destruction. Humility precedes honor. New International Version. Before a downfall, the heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor, right? Get this, Proverbs 11 and verse 2. When matter of fact, Proverbs 8 and verse 13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, right? Is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way. all these ways is evil, right? Hate what the Lord hates, love what the Lord loves. And a forward mouth do I hate, right? So, hey, we're patiently waiting for this man's kingdom to be brought down low, man. And, hey, it's some beautiful times in which we live in, man. I'm going to close it right there. I got to close out. Y'all right, this is an edifying lesson. Shalom.